Hello, Libra. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Libra, I'm going to do a reading for you today. I do want to put a heads up, though. I just came back from a pretty big orthodontic adjustment, and they put some big bite pads back here, which is kind of getting my jaw to sit where it's supposed to sit while they're moving all the teeth into what will eventually be my proper bite. But so I have a lot in my mouth that I've not had before. So, and you're the first reading I'm doing since then. Actually, I came back about almost an hour ago. So, and I don't have wax in my mouth because I don't know where to put it right now. I don't really know what's rubbing or anything like that until I really get going. So just bear with me. If I feel like I'm not talking as fast as I typically do, it's because my tongue doesn't know what the hell's going on. I keep telling it, you're getting renovations. Everything will be great when it's done. But my tongue is like, what the hell? So, and if there's a pause at some point in the video, it might just come to a point where I realize, no, I need wax in that spot. I need that before I keep going. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay, now that we've said that, we know what my problem is, and I am kind of drooling a bit. I'm really, I have to say, this is probably the most unattractive point in my life I've been through. So Libra, my dear friends, what the hell is your deal, man? That's kind of like the title of this reading as I originally created it. But what I'm kind of calling it now is the mask you wear. So the mask that you wear. Oh, you coming up, Lily? Come, darling. Come, darling. She wanted us to do lunch first. It's, no, we have to do a bit of work before lunch. So we're going to see the mask that you wear. These. I've only done 2 so far. I did for Leo and Virgo. Really fascinating, actually. So I'm going to look at like who you really are and the mask you wear, and then I'm going to look at the different ways this affects you and guidance and so on and so forth. All right. So, and I'm going to build it up. I'm not going to do, if you watch me, typically you'll know a lot of times I'll use the tarot, maybe some oracle, and then I'll have my teeny tiny tarot decks to clarify. So I'm building it up. So I'm using my regular Rider-Waite deck, and then I'm going into, sorry, again, excessive spit. That's a swallow there. My Energy Oracle deck. And then we're going into my Karma cards. And we're going to build up the layers of this reading. It's kind of neat. So let's get started. I'm going to shuffle. I'm probably not going to talk as much as I usually do. Sometimes while I'm shuffling, I babble on like I'm doing right now. So anyways, all right. It is a general reading though. And because it's general, it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there will be an extended. The link to that will be at the top of the description within this video. Libra, the mask you wear. What the hell is your deal, man? Who you really are, the mask you're hiding behind, why you hide your true self. I just wanted to make sure I was sitting in your energy. Like I sat with the singing bowls and everything before the video, but okay. Who you really are. The 6 of Pentacles. You're charitable and giving. You're sweet. You're the young hierophant. You're on your way. You're on your way to, you're giving of yourself. That's who you are. You're balanced too. You're giving from this end. Well, then this end probably needs some of that too. So, well, there you go, right? We're off the bat right away. Okay, the mask that you're hiding behind. The Tower. Okay. There's some sort of major change that's taken place in your life, whether that's good or that's bad. But right now, I don't know. We have to pull out more cards, but maybe maybe some people are thinking, well, Libra's a little stingy with their time and energy and emotions lately, compared to what you usually are, or what you have been for some people in the past, maybe. So maybe there's been some sort of major shift in your life. Because to me, this is almost as if saying, you know what, I got to deal with this right now. So you're hiding behind some sort of major change. Why you hide your true self? What's up with that? The King of Pentacles. You're working on something here. You're being stubborn and slow and patient and persevering. You're kind of seasoning your experience too. I'm getting with this card. You're rising up. Yeah. Something has shifted you. No, there's something about, okay, practical instability. There's something about that with this Tower. Either like you're kind of clinging to the thought of practical and stable because of something that's broken down here, or you're kind of reassessing what that really means. And I feel like you're not quite ready to move beyond the catastrophic change, some sort of big change. I mean, it could be good, it could be bad too. You can think about stability. Like this could even come in. This could read two completely different ways. This could read as someone who was always really giving of themselves and their family and community and at work. And then something really major came in and disrupted everything, like family health issues or a loss of job, or I don't know, you went to get your mortgage came up for renewal. The rates were way too high and all of a sudden it felt like you couldn't afford where you live. Like there could be like that. And then so this isn't like, I mean, this is really who you are, but you're just saying like, listen, my life is up right now. Can't. And why though? Because there's a sense of stability. Now, this could also be something like, you know, you give and take. That's never really been a problem. You win the goddamn lottery, honey. You win the lottery. You win $30 million. And then now, like, why are you hiding? Because like you could have gained something. Do you see how there's two ways that this could really come up? And it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to layer. Yeah, like now, well, there could be people wanting a little more from you than they did in the past. There's all sorts of interesting ways that this could be coming through. Okay, so how does this affect your relationships? That's a really interesting question. Okay, the first thing I got with this Eight of Pentacles was that you're not investing a lot in some relationships. The relationships that you're investing in are things that you have work projects with. That's your relationship status. That's what I would say. Your relationship status is, if it has something to do with a work project, you know, some sort of passion that you're invested in here to create and build, that's the relationships that you're working on. I'm really curious about this Tower. I have to pull out more cards. Anyway. Okay, what's the advice for you? There's Two of Wands. Somebody got this. It's either Leo or Virgo. Those are the only two that had this reading first. The Two of Wands is the advice for you. Self-actualization. But it's sort of like the thinking process of getting ready to self-actualize. That's your advice. How do you want to do that? But you see what the switch here is, you seem to be very pentacle based. So you're really focused on the physical day in and day out of what you need to do to have accomplishments and stability and security around you. And if anyone's helping with that, all right, let's work together. If somebody else wants a lot more from you right now beyond, I kind of feel like work or the practical things that just need to get done, you're not investing in those. But okay, there is a movement towards a switch, is how I would describe that. A movement towards a switch in mindset. Thinking more about your future beyond where you are now. Outcome, if you follow the advice, well, you will move. You will go on a journey, a life-changing journey. The Six of Swords. You will be divinely guided. Now look at this. It's interesting. The bottom you have the Nine of Pentacles. I'm not at all surprised to see that with this Pentacle energy that's coming out. You have the Page of Swords. And then you have the King of Cups. I kind of feel like there's at least someone watching you. I feel like you're showing up as this Nine of Pentacles. And there's literally like someone watching you. It could be a fire sign. It could be a Scorpio specifically. It could be someone who's a husband or a father. This person craves deep connection. Just going on some of the phrases that I have written on these cards. So they're kind of fun to dip into when I use this deck. It's a passionate ruler. Crave deep connection. They're watching you, Libra. But you're busy. You're working your shit now. So let's see. Let's go into the Energy Oracle deck. And let's look a little bit deeper into Libra. Okay. Continuing to develop the mask that Libra wears. Interesting message. So I'm looking at the Tower. I'm trying to let it just kind of come into me intuitively. And all right, so I feel like something major changed in your life. That had to do with, you know, what felt predictable, what felt stable. It could have been your home, it could have been your work, it could have been both. And I do feel like you have started to create quite the foundation in recreating yourself, reinventing yourself or your situation. And you know what I'm getting is that, you know, if something has crumbled for you in the past, you are being incredibly diligent about the foundation that you produce this time around. So it could seem like to some people that, wow, Libra's really focused on work, perhaps, on making money, saving money. I'm going to be honest. It seems like a lot of physical, there isn't like a bunch of spiritual stuff coming in here right now. Not to say that you aren't doing that, but what is being shown here is the element of you recreating a foundation that you're going to make sure this one can't get knocked over. I mean, that's what that feels like to me. You are putting in some real physical effort here. Well, who you really are, you got a big heart, baby. You got a big heart. Who you really are. You're romantic, you're loving, you're kind, you're sweet. You have a lot of love to give. But you ain't doing it right now. That's okay. Okay, the mask that you were hiding behind the Tower. Look at, yeah, blossoming abundance. It's like you're working in the rubble of some sort of major change in your life. I wanted to say collapse. I feel like for most of you, it is more of what would be perceived as something taken away as opposed to something given, you know, like losing something as opposed to winning the lottery, that kind of major change. And you're almost like removing it's almost getting this vision of, you know, like in this meadow. And if you start walking around this crumbled foundation, you can start to see little plants trying to grow, and you're like diligently lifting up these rocks and moving them to allow something new to grow. You're removing the past. That's what you're doing. That's the mask that you're hiding behind. It almost doesn't feel like a mask. You're removing the past. You're really alchemizing so that your future can blossom, and you want it to be able to blossom well. You don't want a plant to have to grow like this and like that and like this, and then, you know, the rock fall on it. And you know, you're removing the rocks to make sure that everything can grow in its proper way here. So why do you hide your true self? Oh, I told you. The King of Pentacles in Cornucopia. You're making something pretty big here. And you perhaps are even pulling in something, I think you're about to create something pretty big. You're doing everything right. I mean, to me, the best thing to come in after blossoming abundance is cornucopia. From spring to summer, almost like late summer. Maybe that means something to you as well, like in terms of timing. But you're in the process of making something quite fruitful. How this affects your relationships. The fifth chakra. Now, okay, that's interesting. I feel like you could be working on new ways to express yourself to people. People could be working on new ways to express themselves to you, because there is a change that's showing up, and that's what you're wearing right now. So on some level too, maybe people don't quite know who you are on the other side of this change, because you're still being seen as the catastrophic change. Now, so the other thing that I'm also getting with this is I really do feel like a lot of times when you are communicating to people, you are communicating about work. Like you are communicating about building something here. It's got, on some level, a very practical and professional. Not hugely professional. You do have the King of Pentacles. But you're really creating this for yourself. Advice for you, right, was the Two of Wands. Patience. To be patient. I feel like it's almost like the mortar is drying on some of the foundation, the bricks, the stones, the masonry work that you've done around something new that you've been building up in your life. This patience feels like the mortar needs to dry. Timing. Timing is important here too. I feel like you're really in a groove, because you're displaying timing correctly with blossoming abundance. But why are you hiding your true self? Cornucopia. I'm making something bigger here. Like I'm making something really big. But I don't know how. I don't think most people see it to the extent of what it is that you're doing. Because you really are showing up like you're just kind of blossoming. You're kind of getting your shit together again. Outcome if you follow the advice. Whoa. Now here's the real spiritual path here. Six of Swords to the temple path. That is very spiritual. Divinely guided. Divinely guided to your fate. It's almost like you've paved your own road. Like the foundation that you've been building here has been paving your own road to your future. And I almost feel like you've almost taken it as far as you possibly can here. There isn't much more of yourself that you could invest in this. And that's why the advice now is coming up to be patient and let's visualize the future. Because Spirit's got the rest here. So be patient and visualize your future. The universe is going to guide you to where you're kind of destined to go, right? Whoa, I love this. You have the appreciation card at the bottom. She reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles. Reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles again. You have, so appreciation, action, the thinking man. It's really funny. So the thinking man reminds me a bit of the King of Swords. You have, again, action. Like this is almost like someone observing you. You have, to me, what feels like the Nine of Pentacles twice as an underline. And then you have someone watching, observing, thinking, contemplating. And then you have someone who's a very deep feeling, emotional individual. And then like the King of Swords with taking the action, like the action on the thoughts, ideas that they've been observing. I don't know who that is. It's kind of funny. Maybe you know who this is. And that's maybe how they see you. With this mask. All right, now let's keep going here. We're going to put the karma cards on. Whenever I say karma cards. I'm going to say karma, 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 chameleon. Come and go. You come and go. Love will be easy if you love them like my shoes. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and... I don't know what that means. Oh, maybe somebody needs to hear that. All right, karma cards. The mask that Libra wear. Who you really are. You are the sun. Okay, you are a creator. You are the sun here. There's your card. You are the sun. And I like to play with the words that go in these. You and yourself are kind of your brightest hope. That's really who you are. You gain respect based on the things that you do. And I see you doing with Pentacles here. You also give respect in what you see others create. You bring ideas to light, and then you bring them to life. So this is really interesting. You're interesting, aren't you? You may even have Leo, or you might have something very prominent in the fifth house. You're very creative. It's okay, Lily. Everything is fine. All right. The mask that you're hiding behind, all this. The fourth house. It's like you're staying in your house, maybe. As you did in the past, your home base or your family. Do what makes you feel secure. I'm telling you. Wow. I don't know it's so much like a mask. It's a persona. It's a... Lily, honey, that's enough. Oh, you know what? Oh, Lily. So the kids around here, like, they're all online learning. And the kids kick them out for lunch. Like, get outside, go play, kid, right? So they go out. There's a house over there with 3 kids. And they go outside and Lily hears them. So then she goes outside and she'll start barking at them. And then they start barking at her. And then it's back and forth for a bit. It's really kind of funny. That's all that's going on with that, I think. Yeah, you know what? I really feel like there's something to do with a major change or disruption in your home life, in your home base, in the predictability of your home. And people see you still dealing with this. And they think you're doing pretty good. They think you're doing pretty good with the blossoming abundance. Okay, as a tarot reader, I'm going to call it out. I think you're doing a lot better than most people think. A lot better with the cards that are showing up here. You have the King of Pentacles and Cornucopia. This is sort of like in process, very close to, on some level, getting to the latter steps of completing, what's the word? It keeps slipping out of my mind. Damn it. It's the most important thing, what I was trying to say. I was leading up to it. It was such a big... Why can't I get it? Oh my God, it's driving me crazy. Helping me. Legacy, like legacy. That's not quite the word, but it's like that. It's, yeah. There's something really big here that you're working on. And you are much further ahead than I feel like a lot of people realize. Okay, so, sorry that took so long, but I told you up front, when I have other things going on in my mouth, it makes it hard to channel easily. In the first house is the card that you have. House? I like that you're getting houses, because I feel like on some level there could be something to do with housing. It could be something to do with housing yourself up or where you're living. So who you are, your desires, and your actions. That's the most important thing right now. Right? First house, Aries. You. But I mean, who you are is very giving and very charitable. But perhaps you're not doing so much of that. So people are thinking, Libra's still dealing with some stuff that they got going on. You know what? Libra's making a foundation that will never fall down. And they're really doing it for them and theirs. How this affects your relationships. I can't, you got Capricorn. We got all this work, right? This kind of feeling of, well, you're just pretty much working. Day-to-day reality. Use the most business-like way. In Capricorn, you are really immersed in work. I really feel like you're really immersed in work. Very diligent. Your routine. Focusing on routine here. Meeting your goals. Interesting too with Saturn, like you're moving beyond some sort of restriction. It's almost like a restriction that may have happened to you in the past or even right now. And you know what the best way for me to deal with this is to put my nose to the grindstone. Focus where I don't feel like I have restriction. Isn't that interesting? Because this is a feeling of like you're about to not have restriction. I feel like with the Two of Wands, advice for you, get ready to be moving here. Oh, the fifth house. The fifth house. So there's that Leo energy again. Ooh, the power of love. I like that on the card. There you go. Okay, advice for you. The power of love, investment, gambles, and other games. Your creations. This is kind of getting ready to take it out there, honey. This is your advice, is to get ready to take it out there. It almost has a feeling too of someone who's been in a garage over the entire pandemic and they've been rebuilding a car or something, you know, like you've been physically investing in something. You've been, I don't know that it's, well, maybe it could be the start of a new business. Like maybe you will eventually, people will bring cars to you and you will repair them and you will do the body work on them, update old cars, make like all that stuff. And then it's almost like getting ready to open up that garage door and wheel out your creation. Like, oh, there it is now. Interesting. All right. The outcome. This outcome is already so fascinating. What do we have? Saturn. Ooh. Well then, the maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed. Oh. On a path, a very spiritual path. This is about if you're going to, in the future for yourself, if you're going to run into roadblocks, you won't see roadblocks like you've seen roadblocks in the past. You will see roadblocks as a divine intervention. You will see roadblocks as an opportunity to learn. And you will see roadblocks as an opportunity to allow Spirit, the universe, to take you to somewhere you've never been before. Knowing that this restriction will turn into something very fruitful, abundant, that you can grow in. So I don't want to say that you're out, because that, you know, the future that you make for yourself isn't going to have roadblocks. Like, let's say, like just that example of someone has been repairing or doing body work on cars over the pandemic. You know, it's not a bad idea, really. If you have that talent and ability, it's something that you can still kind of freely do. You know, people drop off their car. You don't have to spend a lot of time with other people, because I don't feel like you are. And if you are, I feel like you're just talking to them about the work that you're doing. And then, so then you've taken it to a point where you're about to roll up that garage door and wheel it out and then put it at the end of the driveway. It's candy red, like it's beautiful. Everyone driving by is like, what is that? What has Libra been doing the last 2 years or 2.5 years, 8, 5, 6 months, whatever it might be? Now more people want to bring that in. So you can see how that is not so much an obstacle, but it's definitely something, a challenge that you have to meet. So if you're growing something here big, with that comes big responsibility as well. The underline you have in the 3rd house, by making the right connections, the idea in question, get your ideas going. I think you have been getting your ideas going. Oh, I see that here. I see that here. And I think your ideas are going a lot more progressively than others think they are. Like nobody has any idea what you've been doing behind that garage door. But you're getting ready to unveil it. And, you know, I am seeing it again, like almost like a demand on whatever it is that you're going to be unveiling. I don't know how that shows up in your life, right? Like the only thing that I'm really getting that is really substantiating this is that working on a car and then unveiling it, and then everybody wants to bring their car to you. So you can't just do it in the garage. Now, right, like this is making the right connections, knowing the right people. Someone, oh yeah, there's an empty a bay door or something, I don't know what you call those things, where you could set up there, right? Like having the right connections. Yeah, this is really curious. Okay, that's your reading. That was a very different spin than what's been happening lately. In this, the mask that you wear, I'm really proud of myself. I didn't have to put any wax in my mouth, but I think I will be shortly doing that. Good for you. Good for you, Libra, and any cross watchers that are peeking in here on you. You already have created quite a bit more than what I think most people imagine that you have created. I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to get Oracle and Tarot cards. We're going to ask 3 specific questions. We're going to ask how to improve your relationships. I actually think that might be a good question here because this just feels very work related, relationships. Okay, and then what would your deeper self tell you about the mask that you wear? And then the second one is how to release your true potential. There you go, my dear Libra friends. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.